All right. Saying that we are live now, I'm gonna check right quick, see what's up.
Kind.
That's the reason. Okay. See what's up. All right, yeah, we on. Hey, Shalom, Mike, y'all. We want to give all praises to Yahweh by Him, Yahweh, Yahweh. Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking His word and sincerity, also in truth. You know, a lot of times when you're toiling and this thing of ours, it could get very tedious. If you look up that word tedious, it could get you know, basically boring, if you will, because what we're saying the same thing over and over again. But we have to remember why we're doing this. We're doing this to edify our people, you know, and that's very important because we were given this knowledge, and with this knowledge, there's a certain way in which we're supposed to be walking. We're supposed to be walking in the fear of Yahweh Bashim Hawashah. See what I'm saying? With that fear is to galvanize us to move a certain way, you know, in this truth of ours. You know, now if you're paying attention to the times that we're living in, we understand that we're living in some very, very serious times, man. You know, so it's very important that we're not set on our leaves. You know, as it says in Zephaniah 1, and I want to say around verse 12. You see, that's why also the scriptures say to hate not husbandry. Now, before we read this verse, this particular verse, I want to actually bring out that word husbandry. Let's see. Let me go to the meaning of it. And that word husbandry means to care, cultivate, breeding of crops and animals. So symbolically speaking, we are not to hate husbandry. You see, as again and again, that means to do what? To take care of crops or animals, cultivation. You see what I'm saying? Hey, brother, can you read that Sirach 7:15?
Kind. This is Sirach 7:15. It says, "Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry hath ordained."
That's right. So we're not supposed to hate husbandry, and that's again the cultivation of animals, and also going into planting seeds. You see, and we're symbolically doing both. See, we're taking care of the sheep of Yahweh Shai, and also we're planting seeds. You see, in hopes that these particular seeds grow into plants for Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You see, but it's important that we understand why we're doing these things, and we're not fighting, you know, a fight abyss. We just out here talking to be talking idly. No, we're doing this because we have a certain goal in mind. That goal is to be a part of the elect. You see what I'm saying? Hey, brother Yadaka, did you have anything?
Kind. It is something I want to get to if you don't mind.
Of course.
It's Proverbs 14 and 23.
Proverbs 14
I don't
and
know if you
23.
already had it, but
No, you're fine. I can pull it up right now. Proverbs
kind if you don't
14,
mind.
and of course, and I'll read it for you. Proverbs 14 and 23. All right. Now, this is Proverbs 14 and 23. Here we go. Proverbs 14 and 23. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury.
Okay. And I thought that was poverty in there. I might have to look up that word. Or penury. That's the same thing pretty much in the old Quaker English. It probably means the same thing as poverty, being left lowly. But in labor, there's profit. And even Peter, the head disciple of the Lord, if you read Matthew 19 and 27, he said, "We are forsaken all and follow thee." Because Yahweh Shai's ministry, it was a very tedious ministry. It was a laborious work. So in the end, Yahweh Shai said that it would be profit, they would rule, you know, and sit on thrones. But it says the talk of lips only tended to penury, meaning just a lot of dry talking like he was going into. That's not going to amount to nothing at the end of the day. You got to actually put things into action. And as far as this ministry, feeding the flock, doing what's necessary for the harvest to come.
Beautiful. That's right. And just for edification, the word penury means extreme poverty, like you said. I just Googled it. Extreme poverty or destitution. You know.
Mm-hmm. Point made, brother. That's all I wanted to just add, to what you got going.
Okay, brother. The water.
You want me to go back to Sirach?
No. I mean, we've already read and expounded on it. So we could really go to the next verse.
Okay, kind.
Yeah,
this is Sirach 7:16. It says, "Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember."
I should clarify. I meant to mix
descriptions.
Precept. Yes.
Yeah, because my brother, that's on me.
No, you're fine. Huh?
Hebrews 10:23.
Uh-huh.
This is Hebrews 10:23. It says, "Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised."
That's right. So we have to hold fast to our faith, and understand that we were given a certain promise. See, and with that understanding, we walk a certain way. We were given the chance to rule with Yahweh Shah. That's very big. That kingdom is going to be everlasting. You see, but it takes us doing what? Holding fast to our faith and understanding, the severity of what we're a part of. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important, that we, as we toil in this thing, that we understand why we're toiling. You see, and when you toiling for something that you want, it doesn't feel like work. You enjoy doing it. Why is that? Because you're profiting off of it. Case in point, if you ever had a good job that was laid back, you don't mind going to work. Why is that? Because the work isn't gonna be too hard, and also, I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna be compensated well. Or even if it is a job in which you're working hard, that at the end of the week or in 2 weeks you're gonna get a pretty good paycheck. You don't mind going to work. You see why is that? Because you understand, the covenant that you have between yourself and that employer. Well, how much more so for you, Howard Shot? You see, who's projected to rule over this entire world. And that's why it's important for us to stay close to that flame and also to challenge one another, if you will, to continue in this work of ours. And that's why these videos are so important, because you see other brothers are doing videos that galvanizes you to do videos, man. Or you look at the word galvanize means to electrify, or to influence. You see? Hey, can you read that next verse out?
Kind. This is Hebrews 10:24. "And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works."
That's right. You look at that word provoke. You can simply look it up in the etymology, and it means to challenge. You see, and that's what we do with one another. And the prime example of this is who? Elder Apostle Tuhar. You see, that's why he made it a basically made it mandatory for us to do 3 sit downs. Why is that? Because let's keep that flame. If you're constantly toiling in this truth, man, you're gonna be built up. You see, you're gonna be concentrated on that promise, and also on your work before you, not being lackadaisical in the world. You see, and now we're starting to see that GMS is taking off compared to these various camps. the man that's in these in our camp. Look how many videos are being produced. Why is that? Because we were provoked to love, man. To love and to do good works. You know, specifically. Okay. Can we go to Matthew 5?
Kind of, absolutely.
All right, if you have anything, barber shops, get down. If you got
Okay,
precept,
this is Saint
Mhm.
Matthew 5 and 13. It says, "Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men."
That's right. Keep going.
It says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house."
Mhm.
It says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven."
So with this beautiful knowledge that we have been bestowed, what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be letting that light shine. And as I'm speaking, I'm thinking about the phrase of someone who's very bright. You know, when somebody says, "Oh, you know what? He's very bright." What is that saying? What does he mean by that? By that particular person mean by that? It's saying what they're saying is that person has a set of knowledge, and what you see with our knowledge, what are we supposed to do? Well, we're supposed to let our light shine towards the nation of Israel, man. And that knowledge and that light, excuse me, is this knowledge that was bestowed to us by Yahweh by Shemel Shah. Again, emphasizing. But if we lose our salt or that knowledge, what are we good for? We're gonna be trampled down just like the rest of these people. You know. So all these guys who ain't once in the truth, you see, and fell out. Well, what's going to happen to them? The Most High is going to destroy them. You see why? Because they didn't continue on with the good works. You see, they got lackadaisical and they fell off. What's that? Luke 9:62.
Kind, did you want that?
Yeah, a person who hasn't counted cost. Because in that particular verse, what was that? What was Yahweh describing? Somebody who was doing laborious work, somebody who was building a house, man. See, a particular person who quit. Well, he hated laborious work. You see, matter of
Want to get
fact,
straight to the point, or you want to read up?
let me see.
I think the point is in the last verse in
That
62, putting his hand to the plow.
Yeah, putting his hand to the plow. I know that's the last verse. Yeah, let's get the last. Well, actually, yeah, let's get the last verse. Let's get the last
Kind.
verse. Yeah.
This is St. Luke 9:62. "And Yahweh Shah said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High."
That's right. So you put your hand to the plow, to this work, you know, this husbandry that we would bid to, right? And you go back into the world, what's gonna happen? Well, the Most High is not gonna see you fit to be one of the rulers of the kingdom of heaven. In fact, he's gonna destroy you. You see? Why is that? Because you stop feeding the flock of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Because our people are very hard headed, man. You see, and stuck in their ways, and the curses, are upon them, and the only remedy to, the various things I just named is just truth. One of my favorite scriptures is John 17:17, sanctify with the truth. That word is truth. And we would bestow this knowledge, right? What are we supposed to be doing? Well, we're supposed to be breaking up the fallow ground of our people's minds, if you will. And that word fallow means hard ground. Why? So we could cultivate their minds, man. Hey, can we get Jeremiah 4:3? Excuse me.
Con. This is Jeremiah 4:3. It says, "For thus saith the Lord to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground, and sow not among thorns."
That's right. And just for edification, I want to look at that word fallow. Hopefully they have it in here. If not, then I'll just Google it. Yeah, because it's saying fallow ground. I don't want it all together. I know they're gonna do
And
something.
can I add something too, if you don't mind?
Of course.
I forgot to mention it when we was in the previous scripture in St. Luke 9:62, but when it talks about plowing, a plow is basically a tool of laborious work of husbandry to break up that ground that we finna go into.
Mm-hmm. Say it again, Rob.
I was just saying in St. Luke 9:62, which we just read,
Mm-hmm.
it talks
Mm-hmm.
about no man taking his hand from the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom. Like a plow is an instrument for laborious or husbandry, basically to break up the ground. And you finna go into this word.
Very good. Now that word fallow, it means a farmland, plowed in harrowed, but left unsown for a period in order to restore its fertility as part of a crop rotation or to avoid surplus production. So this is land that was once um, cultivated, if you will, but left, basically left unsown, which really goes into our law, how we're supposed to let the land rest for 7 years before we use it, and the synonyms for this word is uncultivated, unplowed, untilled, unplanted, unsown, you know, of a soul not pregnant, a piece of fallow or uncultivated land, and that's our people. Our people had the truth, you see, but they fell off. They started worshiping out these various idols, you see, and so the land became fallow, or again, the mind became fallow. Hey, can we read that? Read that again, up?
Absolutely. Jeremiah 4:3, it says, "For thus saith the Lord to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground and sow not among thorns."
That's right. So we're to break up the fallow grounds, you see, and not sow more thorns. You see what I'm saying? And that goes into what, man, get your mind out of this place, and that's the Most High set us up in order to tell our people to do so. You see what I'm saying? To tell them, hey, man, look, eating pork, that's not right according to the law, according to Leviticus 11th chapter. Sleeping with another man's woman, that's not cool, man. That's actually wicked. You know, stealing from one another, that's not right. Placing usury on one another, that's incorrect according to the scriptures. So we're breaking up that fallow ground, man, and we're sowing seeds, for Yahweh by Shai. You know, there's another one that I had.
Can I get a precept for you?
Of course.
Yeah, because you were saying we're sowing seeds. So that's a tedious process. And like we was talking about plowing and getting the ground right, to be able to plant the seed, because you got to know where to plant the seeds. The ground has to be tilled a certain way. Everything has to be dressed properly in order for that seed to grow. And that's the tedious nature that the men of the Lord had to take on in trying to feed up the flock for the seed of the elect to come to the harvest so we can get sealed up and get out of here when Yahweh shall return. But I want to get this. This is St. Matthew 9:37. It says, "Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest." And that's the reason why, like we just read in 2, because of the nature of this hard labor, some men may come in for a period and then are not able to last. They didn't count the cost to build to finish. So the Lord is only going to deal with a few elect who going to be able to endure this laborious work until the elect is sealed and America's destroyed and we get out of here. You know?
That's right. That's right. So it's important that we're keeping our eyes on that prize, man. You know, the prize is us getting out of here, not being comfortable in America. See what I'm saying? What's that? Hosea.
I got it for you.
What you got?
To 10 and 12.
Hosea 10 and 12.
This is Hosea 10 and 12. Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your fallow ground. For it is time to seek the Lord till he come and rain righteousness upon you.
Woo! So it says, telling us to I'm sorry, go ahead. You want to get down? Sorry about that.
I was reading too far. You can go ahead and break it down.
So it's saying that we need to sow righteousness. You know, it's like it's saying we need to sow righteousness, man. See what I'm saying? And how do you sow righteousness? By doing the will of Yahweh by Shemi outside. What does it mean by sowing? Well, it means planting. You see? That's why it says in Matthew the 10th chapter, man, to store up treasures in the kingdom of heaven. You know, because our main focus needs to be pushing his word, man. Now, do you have to live your life? Do you have to pay bills, you know, take care of your family? Of course. But the underlying reason why we're here is to do what we're doing right now, man. Push his word, you know. And it could be, again, it could be tedious because your flesh is going to call out. Your flesh, as it get, you know, harder and harder out here, your flesh is going to look for avenues to chill. But you got to remain in the spirit. We have to remain in the spirit. Slack it. See what I'm saying? Because if we sow that righteousness, we're going to reap mercy. And in the time of Jacob trouble, that's what we're going to need. We're going to need mercy from Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? That takes us, you know, doing what he prescribed for the men of the Lord to be doing and not do what we wanted to, what we want to, you know. So that's us, again, breaking up that fallow ground, that hard-headedness. You see? Go ahead, Al.
Back in Hosea chapter 10, verse 13. Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity. You have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst trust in the multitude of thy mighty men. It says, therefore shall a tumult arise among thy people, and all thy fortresses shall be spoiled, as Shalman spoiled Beth Arbel in the day of battle. The mother was dashed in pieces upon her children.
That's right, and you can read about that in 2 Kings. But really, that's going into the fact that how our people are going to be destroyed because we have plowed wickedness. Well, they have plowed wickedness. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to reap what? You know, wickedness, man. The Most High is going to destroy them. You know, these are those unwanted fruits, you know, that our people are producing. And if we know this, you know, this understanding of ours, we don't need to walk in that. We don't need to walk like that, man. You know. But we need to walk with the fear of Yahweh by Shemi Shai, with the fear of understanding his terror, and also a certain sense of reference to the Heavenly Father for giving us this knowledge, man. You see what I'm saying? So let's go to John 21 and start at like verse 15. And this could be a last scripture, bro, unless you got something.
Okay, kind. And I think I had something. This is this is St. John 21, and you said 15.
Yes, that's correct.
Kind. So when they had dined, Yahweh Shah said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yeah, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs.
That word feed, let's look it up because I want, if I'm not mistaken, it means Boy Scout. And that word Boy Scout, when you look it up, it has a very intriguing definition, man. Look at that. Me to feed Boy Scout. Here we go. Boy Scout. Oh, that word, that's it. That's it. And that
Yep,
word
yep.
says to feed, portraying the duty of a Christian to teach, to promote in every way the spiritual welfare of the members of the church. You see? Now remember what we brought up, the definition of husbandry. You see, not only is it talking about cultivating land, but it has to do with, you know, basically taking care of cattle. And Yahushua has likened us as his cattle. So if we love Yahushua, what are we supposed to be doing? Well, we supposed to be feeding uh his sheep the proper nutrients, man. You see what I'm saying? You know, I could even remember staying on the farm and we had cattle, we had cows. And so, I thought that they could just eat off of hay and the grass, but in fact, you know, you need to feed them certain feed. Every once in a while, you go out there and feed them to make sure that they don't have worms and things of that nature. You know, and that's the same thing with us. Even in your own body, there's certain things you need. You see, you need antioxidants. You need protein. You need carbohydrates. You see, for you to do what to function at your best capacity. Well, how much more so for the body of Yahushua? So a lot, it's important that we're given, our proper feed, if you will, nourishment to the body of your or to the cattle of Yahushua, man. You see? Go ahead, Op.
Now in St. John 21 and 16, he said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yeah, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh said unto him, Feed my sheep.
That's right. So Simon Peter was getting frustrated because Yahushua kept on asking the same question and telling him the same thing to feed his sheep. So Yahushua was very serious about this. Like, hey man, make sure you feed the flock. And we have to come in that same light, man. Hey, we have to feed this flock of Yahushua, man. So we cannot hate husbandry. Okay? Brother, did you have anything to say?
Yeah, I want to get a quick precept for you.
Okay.
This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6. It says, Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer and gathered her food in the harvest. And the point I want to get on that is like an ant, it being a very small insect. Not only do they go in hard on laborious work, but they also work efficiently. They know exactly what they're working for, the reason why they're working, and it's to be sufficient during the time of the harvest. And that's the same thing. More so, we have to be in the spirit, and especially concerning protecting the flock. Like as a farmer, there's all types of oddball jobs you have to do to all day to just keep the farm going, whether it's tending to the flocks, keeping a fence together so the flocks can't get out. It's all in protection of the flock and for the
That's right.
sowing of seeds to increase. So that's more so what we have to be in the spirit of until Yahweh Shah makes his return until the election is sealed, because that's the only way the election is going to be sealed, with this word, through that laborious process.
That's right, brother. That's right. That's right. Shoot. That was pretty much it for me. For me, if you had anything else.
Nah, not really. I mean, that's just a good overall topic, you know, just because this thing of ours, even in the time that we're coming into it, Jacob's trouble, things are going to get harder. So that's why we have to walk in a way, and of course, pray constantly that the Most High shows us mercy to just have us renewed with the strength that we need to endure in this faith as this kingdom collapse, you know?
That's right. That's right, bro. Hey, with that being said, Most High willing, you bros was edified, man. You know, we want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem. Hey, double honor to the apostles and elders, they were well. And peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his words, sincerity, also in truth. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom, Israel.